welcome back to the health segment on MyInfoWeb TV. My name is Dr. Holly. I have a PhD in psychology, a doctor of natural medicine, various other degrees and designations in health, which you've heard about before on the other channels we've had. But today we're very honored to have a woman from Germany, trained in Germany with 2 PhDs, one in physics and one in biology, who has come all the way over here to help us learn about the leading edge technology in medicine from Germany. So I'd like to turn to Dr. Christine Sepp from Germany, and introduce her as our special guest today. And she's going to teach us about a couple of different components we have. She is going to come back on other sessions, and we're going to have specific tools and techniques used in other segments on different aspects of how to diagnose and treat in more complex ways. But today we're going to introduce you to a couple of really simple but exciting ways that you can treat yourself at home and be able to do it effectively and efficiently. So let's start out with Dr. Christine. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well, Holly. Thank you for your invitation and for your kind words. I am very excited to be here and very pleased at the same time to explain and show you more of our latest technologies, which are the results of over 50 years of work.
How many years?
50 years of work.
Wow.
Of different specialists in physics and chemics, medicine, alternative medicine, homeopathics, acupuncture, and other technologies and other specialists like this. What is important to understand that this is a result of groups of scientists and not only my work. I may be only here to bring you the good words about these technologies in which we believe, and we distribute these devices worldwide.
And I hear that you're not only selling them in Germany, across Europe and in North America, but in Africa and South America.
That's absolutely true. We started to sell them internationally several years ago, and the business really picked up in the last, I would say, 1.5 years at an amazing path. I probably believe that people are awakening and are in big need of having these technologies which are affordable, painless, non-invasive, are treating and healing the real disease and not only sedating the symptoms.
Which we find in allopathic medicine. When we go to the MD, we tend to get diagnosed, but then we end up managing the symptoms very often rather than eliminating the cause.
That's absolutely true, and this is not our credo. Our philosophy of our group, which is, as I said, a group of different scientists and well-known companies, like, for example, Bruce Koppen Laboratories, who is a pioneer in quantum response technologies, or Kindling Medicine Device is one of the top 3 in electroacupuncture, according to Dr. Fall. All these scientists and myself involved as a chemist and physicist in this type of research, we developed devices which are affordable for everyone, which can be helping you, and you don't need to go all the time to see a doctor or to a pharmacy. You can produce some of your own remedies, and so you save cost and time, and maybe you get the satisfaction to be a direct healer of your own health problem.
So you're telling us that we can actually eliminate the cause of different disease and disorders that the MDs
This is
are not
our
doing?
philosophy. We don't treat the symptoms. Everything we do and all the devices we produce are actually giving you a diagnosis based on a scan of your blueprints as a person, as an individual, and we do not create programs and treatments based on standard programs or based on something which is not known. But for a private patient, for a private person, it is sometimes easy if he has a herpes or an abscess on a tooth, or he has some arthritis pains or whatever. It is very easy for him to stay at home and to know exactly he has to acupuncture some points instead of going to see a doctor to get painkillers and so on and so forth, which is not healthy.
So I'm not understanding exactly what you're saying, Dr. Christine. You're talking about acupuncture. Are you telling me that I have to put needles into my own body?
No. The needles and the classical acupuncture is, which is practiced by many very talented acupuncturists it is a technology for more than 6,000 years now. It's very efficient but has a big disadvantage. You use the needles are breaking the skin, there is always a little danger of having an infection, and not many people like this type of pain. For example, babies and small children or old persons or very sensitive persons don't like to have this type of acupuncture.
Well, I'm not old, but I sure don't like pain either. So what are you going to do to alter that?
So the question was, how can I find, first of all, how can I find the points, the acupuncture points, the right one, and secondly, how can I access this acupuncture points with a device which is not invasive. And there are two technologies which you can use. There is electroacupuncture, which is a little bit more sophisticated and is mostly recommended for practitioners. But one very simple one is the laser acupuncture. The laser is a very coherent light. This very coherent light has a very clear and determined wavelengths, and this can be focused on a point, on an acupuncture point, which we show you in a small book, which acupuncture points are related to what disease. There is no pain, nothing associated with this. Yeah.
But you're saying I have to go into a book and figure out where my acupuncture
we
points are?
We deliver the devices with a small guide book where you can see for different diseases which acupuncture we recommend. And actually you have to determine what is wrong with you. You can see this or you can feel it. You have a problem with the digestion, or you have a constipation, or you have a tooth problem, or you have an acne or herpes or whatever, arthritis pain. Then you find in this little guidebook which comes with a device which point you have to hit, for how long, if it is a contact or it is a non-contact point, so you can have the device just 2 millimeters above the acupuncture point, and you get all the instructions necessary to treat yourself.
Okay, so let me walk through this, so make sure I've got it correct. If I have a symptom, I don't have to make a diagnosis, I just have to understand what the symptom is.
If you have a tooth abscess, its diagnosis is very clear, and this is what is bothering you right now, or you have a herpes.
Okay. But say I've got something in my gut and I don't know what it is. Yeah. Does that matter, or do I just have to know what the symptom is?
We do recommend this type of treatment at home only if you know the symptom. If you don't know what symptom you have, you should go to see your practitioner.
Are you saying symptom or diagnosis? Say I've got a lot of gas, but I don't know what's causing the gas. I don't know if I've got a leaky gut syndrome. I don't know if I have metal toxicity. I don't know if I have a colon that's
But you know where it is located?
Yes.
Okay, then you have the meridians, which are practically dedicated to the large intestine or to the small intestine or so on, and so then you need only to go to those meridians.
So I have to understand all the different acupuncture meridians?
No, because we tell you which one you have to hit when you have this type of symptoms.
Okay, so if I have a given symptom,
yes,
I can look it up in the book.
Correct.
The book will give me a nice simple diagram of where the points are that are related to that. Yeah. And it will tell me whether I have to touch the skin or hold the device above the skin.
Correct.
And it will tell me how long I need to hold it.
Yeah.
And how many times a week.
That's correct. For example, if you have an open wound, you will not touch the wound because this is a type of non-contact treatment. But if you have a problem with your kidney or with your liver or with your colon and so on, or herpes, whatever, then you can touch it, and then you have a contact directly with the laser head, and then you go directly to these points and have, we have here only the red light. So this means we just...
Before we actually get to that, let's just explain what
I just wanted to say the red light, which is coming out of this laser, it's considered to be the light energizing, so it activates the acupuncture point. You can have also a laser which is with a blue light, those lasers are very, very expensive, and they are considered to be used mostly when you want to sedate a point. We
Okay.
do not recommend to private public to go with the blue lasers, not only because they are too expensive, but they never know exactly if you have to sedate a point.
So
But
that's
it's
better for a practitioner
that's
to use.
for a practitioner, but for
So
either
what is this that you've got here?
this is an acupuncture device, a portable one, works with batteries.
I'm just going to hold this up to the camera.
Yeah.
So this is what she's showing, just a very simple little gadget. It's wider on one end that has the battery in it, and the treatment comes out of this gold end at the other end. But you have a number of different things on this gadget.
Yes.
Can you explain what those are?
If you allow me, I just wanted to say that all these parts are plated with gold.
Plated with gold.
Yes.
That must mean it's lots of money.
This device cost below $400, so this is what we consider is the quality necessary, because gold is very it's very neutral when you touch it with the skin. It doesn't oxidize, so it doesn't change the signal.
Kind of like the gold on your rings.
The same, you
Ah,
see it
okay,
exactly
gotcha.
like the same. Now you have here a switch on and off, very easy.
Okay, I don't know whether or not you can see that on the camera, but it even has a light that comes on when she turns it
Correct.
off and on. Very simple part. Okay, keep going.
And then we have here where you can see, you can look at the skin type you have, a very dry one, a normal one, and a very moisture one. So here you can adapt this sensor here to the skin type you
Okay.
have.
So our
Because
skin type tells us a different frequency or relays a different frequency?
the laser has another penetration power, because otherwise if it is very wet, most of the power of the laser dissipates on the surface due to the moisture. If it is very dry, it's exactly the opposite. So usually you go to normal. If you don't see here exactly a point, which you can see, this has a point seeker.
Okay, can you see that on the camera?
Can
There
you
we go.
A
Okay.
point seeker. So if there is no point, you see nothing. If there is a point, you see here. So you don't have to know by heart where are the points, how the acupuncture.
So you don't have to be an acupuncturist.
No, no.
So just to make sure, in case you can't see it on the camera, there's a number of green LED lights. And
Yeah.
when you get up to the 4 lights, that simply tells you you've got the acupuncture point. So you don't have to be an acupuncturist. You don't have to go through years of training to find the point. The book gives you a diagram that gives you an estimation of where that point is. And then this little gadget will identify specifically when you're on the point.
And as you can see, I don't make any pressure. I don't go through the skin. It's just a very gentle touch of the point.
So there's no pain, there's no pricking
absolutely
of the
nothing.
skin.
That's you don't have any feeling here. It's just you see that you hit the point, and now once I hit the point and I know this, I have to work with it. I just press this button here. I'm sorry, this button here, which means now the laser is activating this acupuncture
So at this
point.
point, we
The red
have
one.
the LED lights are out, and the treatment, the red treatment light is on, and you're getting the treatment. And what I like about this is we don't have to worry about any kind of infection or inflammation.
No.
We don't have to worry about...
No side effects, no risks, no protection glasses. These are the main advantages of the so-called soft laser or low-level laser, which are working at 5 milliwatt. This is as powerful as another laser which works at 150 milliwatt, where you will have to have all the protection for your eyes and the practitioner or whoever is in the room. This has exactly the same effect. It only takes a little bit longer to have it. So here you hit the point for 3 minutes. If you would have now a laser for 150 milliwatt, you'll have it in 30 seconds. But those lasers are only for practitioners.
The intensity of the laser wattage is just altered by how long you hold it.
That's correct. It's a thing that is absolutely the same effect. It's just here you need 3 minutes for a point. In a laser with 150 milliwatt, you need 30 seconds. For a practitioner who wants to see more patients on a day, 30 seconds are important. For you at home, 3 minutes are okay.
All right. Question I have is, what about if you're pregnant? Can you use that if you're pregnant?
I wouldn't recommend to use it if you have an acute health condition. If you are just feeling very bad with your heart, or you are pregnant, or you are in a chemotherapy treatment, I wouldn't recommend to do it. But there is no side effects known. It's just not to bring frequencies in your body where you don't know exactly what might be eventually the correlations, because all the meridians we know have their branches and they are interrelated. So far you have simple health problems like pains, like we mentioned before, indigestions, problem with your colon, constipations, or the opposite.
What about things like depression and anxiety?
This is very, very good to be used, because there are several points which are very effective. If you use them, you feel it in minutes, how you come down, how you have another tonus. The meridians and the acupuncture points are well known, and this is something which never can create you problems.
So let's just take a step back here for our audience. In Chinese medicine and in Ayurvedic medicine, which is said to precede the Chinese medicine, it was identified that the body has a number of meridians, in fact 12 meridians, plus a single one up the front and down the back. These meridians have a variety of points, and some of the points just belong on the given meridian, and some actually transfer back and forth between meridians. Depending on whether you're using Ayurvedic or whether you're using traditional Chinese medicine, they have different terms, but they do the same thing. Now, we all know that in Western medicine that acupuncture and Eastern medicine modalities have had a very difficult time until just recently. And in fact, it was just 2-3 years ago that Harvard recognized the actual molecular structure of these meridians in the body that Dr. Christine is talking about. And so because Harvard recognized them and was able to identify the molecular structure, all of a sudden they went from being flaky to being very powerful. Harvard also explained to us that the energy or the information that moves up and down these meridians moves faster than the speed of light, which is significantly faster than the neurotransmitters in our central nervous system that prior to that time had been considered the fastest moving information modality in the body. So what Dr. Christine is showing us here is how we can use these 12 plus 2 meridians and all the points on them very effectively as a layperson. We don't have to go in and have the training. We don't have to be an acupuncturist or an Ayurvedic physician. We have a very simple book that outlines a variety of different symptoms, disorders, dysfunctions, and Dr. Christine is just showing us a book here with a simple diagram, and the diagrams are in black, the meridians are in red, and nice big points on those meridians showing you approximately where they are. Now, if you're an acupuncturist, you would have to get that needle into that precise place in order to work it. If you work with acupressure, you have to find the spot and just maneuver around it. But it doesn't have the same impact as if you have an instrument that can locate it specifically for you and then provide the treatment for you as well. That's incredibly exciting. You don't need somebody else. You can do it all by yourself. And you can do it in the privacy of your own home and when you're feeling comfortable doing it, whether that be in bed or watching TV, what have you, all for the price of under $400. I mean, that's just a couple months worth of medications for many people. So let's look at some of the different things we can use this for. From my understanding from talking with you earlier, Dr. Christine, is we can use it for things like depression and anxiety, as you just mentioned,
insomnia.
very, very effectively. Insomnia, as well as being very fatigued and tired,
That's true.
which often comes with insomnia, but can also come from needing too much sleep. What about things like adrenal fatigue? Can it help us support the adrenals?
Absolutely can, yes.
And if our liver, which does over 500 functions in the body, supports every other system and organ in the body, this can be very, very helpful for the liver.
Exactly, and when you have a cramp in your gallbladder as well, you can, in about 3 to 6 minutes, you have it already released. So
is that affecting the stones in the gallbladder too?
Yes.
Then? Wow.
Yes, and if you have sometimes you add something and you feel that there is not coming because you have a cramp or you have a narrowing channel for your gallbladder, so you can have activating those points and you feel immediately how the whole filling in your stomach becomes better because the gal it's coming back, it's emanating into the stomach.
Wow. Well, one of the big things we have in today's society that's become an epidemic is diabetes and weight issues and what have you. Could a device like this help people with their weight issues and diabetes?
For the weight issues, you have to be patient. In this case, it helps, but you have to believe that this is something which you have to change your metabolism, so it doesn't happen only in one evening if you hit the right points. You have to do it over 6 weeks, and usually after the first 6 weeks you feel that you want to eat differently, your metabolism is changing, and associated with this you are losing weight.
Oh, I like things like that when the body starts telling me that I want
That's
to
correct.
eat differently.
That's
That sounds
correct.
pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're saying that if there are issues like diabetes, obesity, weight, metabolic issues, etc., that if we're patient and we do it daily over approximately a 6 week, probably varies from person to person, but over about a 6 week period, the vibrational frequencies of the cells, of the hormones, etc., will start changing in the body, and the body will start asking, craving for healthier foods, more
That's
effective
correct.
foods.
Yeah.
Probably regulating hormones like leptin and ghrelin that are
Absolutely.
so important in
Yeah.
metabolism.
Yeah, everything which is associated to the regulation of your metabolism, but you feel after 6 weeks that you need some changes, and these changes come from inside, not from outside. So you need that, you don't want to crave so much fatty products or carbs or whatever. So
no more McDonald's.
yeah, no, those at all. You can delete them from the very beginning. What I wanted to say, for an effect like this, to see it and really achieve the results you want, do it 2 or 3 times per day over 6 weeks. And we give you a money-back guarantee if you don't achieve these changes regarding to the weight
Now
loss.
that's a big red flag. A
Yes.
money-back
Back guarantee.
guarantee.
In 6
if
weeks.
you've done it 3 times a day for 6 weeks and not got your desired results,
That's correct.
then you get your money back. That is pretty powerful. Well, Dr. Christine, I really appreciate you coming all the way out to here, Vancouver. I appreciate all the background you have,
Thank
all
you.
the training, and I also appreciate the fact that you connected with so many other laboratories and researchers in Germany. But I also see you pointing to another gadget we've got
I just
here.
wanted to say, in your purse or in your suitcase, if every day is very stressy for you and you don't know what's happening, maybe a tooth is starting to bother you, or you have a stressy day and you get too agitated and so on, there is a small brother of this device which practically works with a very small lens.
It just looks like a tube of lipstick.
That's correct. It's very portable, it's with battery, it's with gold plating everywhere, so both devices are in highest quality, and you cannot find this quality anywhere in I would say, in the world of this, for this type of laser. Has the same power, 5 milliwatt, but because it has a lens, and maybe you are an older person or you have a baby and it moves, then it's a little bit difficult to point on the acupuncture. Then you just make a light acupressure using this very gentle movement, and it's very as efficient as the other one. There is pleasant.
I'm just going to show this in a little bit different angle to make
Yes.
sure that we get this on the TV. It is just a small tube, just like a lipstick tube. At the very tip of it is a red light that comes
The same
out.
light as there,
And
the laser
all
light.
you need to do is move it around the same area that
It's like
you
a little
already
massage, like
identified.
little pressure, acupressure, it's more.
And that's far infrared that's coming out
That's
of there,
the same like there.
which is what we know can go into the body up to about 2 inches and have a tremendous impact.
If allow me, it's very easy to see what is a penetration power, and either you or I, we can do the following. Now it's very easy to look here. You put it in the nose and you see the light coming up to here. You see?
Can you see that on the...
The light goes up to here. So this shows you
I'm really
what
not
is...
picking my nose, honest.
Yeah, so you can see what is the depth.
Wow.
You see it?
It-
And you see it also in the other one?
Yeah,
And
you
it goes
do.
up to here. So this is a power which penetrates this
Right
laser. You see? Also here you see that it goes through the...
Right through the bone and
Yeah,
through the skin, yeah.
Yeah. It's very good when you have little children which have a pain. And by the way, this is extraordinarily good when you have wounds which you want to heal faster for children and old people. You just have to go, not to contact. So it's
just
not
above the skin.
just above the skin, and just very, very little in general, rotate it or do anything, any movement you want. Keep it for 3 to 5 minutes like this. You'll see that it practically dries immediately the wound. It works very well when you are cold, have a cold with your nose. So,
and I would think that'd be particularly important for us in the Northwest here. There's some estimates that up to 70% of us in the Northwest have fungus and molds that are growing in our sinuses here and here. And if we utilize this, that's a very simple, effective way to get rid of all that sinuses, although not all of us are even aware that we have those sinus issues.
You made a very good point. I can explain you from a known experience. I had an infection on the duct of my left eye, was treated over 3 years with antibiotics, never went away. It was coming back all the time, and then I used this through the nose, because it goes here where the tear duct is coming out, and just here, don't touch it, and I got rid of it in 3 days. I never got it back, and it was a fungus. So therefore, with antibiotics was nothing possible to treat.
Not at all.
So it's very good for eczemas, everything which is superficial on the skin. Eczemas and any type of skin problems you have, just use it in this variant. It's easier because this one is a little bit narrow, but this is easy to do it directly by contact or non-contact.
And you just have to be careful not to get it in the eye.
This doesn't have a problem. If it goes into my eyes, doesn't have a problem because it is 5 milliwatt. Nothing happened.
Okay.
Therefore, I say you don't need any protection glasses.
Okay.
So I can keep it here, and even your eyes tells you it doesn't disturb you.
No.
Fascinating. This is why we love this 5 milliwatt and don't want to go to the higher power.
Right.
Yes, no, but go to 25 and 50 and 80 and 150 milliwatt. Then start all the problems.
We'll leave that for the practitioners.
Yeah.
Well, again, Dr. Christine, we're running out of time, so again, we thank you very much for coming, and we look forward to having you back here again. And thank you very much for showing us all the different things that you had today.
Lovely to be here. I thank you too for inviting me, and I must say Vancouver is a wonderful place to live, and it invites you to be alternative.
We love to hear that. Thank you, and take care.
Thanks.
Information is at the side here if you would like to have further information about these devices or would like to purchase one for yourself. By all means, the information is written to the side. Contact Holly at choicesunlimited.ca or go to the website choicesunlimited.ca, and under products you will find more information. Thank you again for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Take care.
That's it for today's show. We hope you got some useful information that will help you in your day-to-day life. If you have any questions on this week's topic, feel free to contact our guest directly by email, which is shown on the left of your screen. If you have any suggestions for future shows, we'd love to hear from you. So until next time, keep on learning.